Hey, BassGeek here, and postpone means bass moving from one feeding opportunity to the other until they get to their summer homes. And as the bass feed on shad, then move to bluegill, and then the crawdads and back to shad, you're gonna need to have baits that can mimic any of those at any time. But fishing geeks, I've got a brand new bait that when you rig it the right way and use the right color, it'll mimic any forage the bass is feeding on. So in today's video, I'm going to show you when, where, how, and the gear you need to fish this new, interesting little bait. So like we were talking about, a lot of different things can happen in the post spawn, and the ability to just have a single go-to bait, especially a brand new bait that the bass haven't seen yet, can be huge. We all know when there's that good new bait that comes out, it can just catch bass. No matter how weird it looks, and no matter how crazy we think it is that the bass are eating this, that bait, if it can catch bass during the shad spawn, during the bluegill spawn, and then when they move out deep, that's a pretty serious bait, and you need to check it out. So the one bait that we're talking about that really will mimic, and really based on how you rig it, a lot of different things. And what I like about it, it's not something that if you look at it, you're going to look at it and you're going to say, well, that don't look like anything. Now, it does look a lot different than anything else. This is a brand new bait. It's already getting a lot of buzz, but the way you rig it, it can look like a dying shad, a dying brim. It can look like a ton of different baits based on how you rig it and how you fish it. Although it is a very unique bait, a bait that no one, or really a design no one's come out with yet, and it is the NetBait play on kind of the fuzzy ball. This is called the Virus. So like I said, the great thing about this little bait is you really can fish it because it's not a ball. You can fish it, you know, to where it's belly weighted, Nico rigged. You can fish it so that it is really doing anything you want. You can Carolina rig it. You know, this is the Scuppernong color, a color that's really good in a little dingier water in my opinion, but it's got a good reddish brown color too. You know, Scuppernong. But this bait will do a lot of different things for you. One of the great things is it's actually the Hex Tech style bait from NetBait, which means you're going to get some good scent. Now it's already got some bait fuel built in, but it's actually got these little hexagons on here, and they come out with the gel. So not just the regular bait fuel, they've come out with the gel. And so what you can do is you can actually just put a little on. And what I do is I just put a little on each side. And when the bite is tough, all this is going to do is stay on there a little bit longer and get you a few more bites. I picked up a few different colors so that I could mimic a few different things. Like I said, Scuppernong, good little dingier water, stained watercolor. Now this little color right here can really mimic some young bait fish, some young brim. It is green pumpkin violet. Love that little bit of violet on the belly. Now really a clear water color, I mean you almost have to have it if you have any soft plastic, and that is green pumpkin black flake. This color really, when the shad are spawning, when they're out there feeding predominantly on shad, is an incredible little color. And this is crystal blue. So the two ways that I've been fishing this today is on a belly weight hook. And this has got an incredible fall to it, nice little glide. And you can just twitch it forward. I just pop it. But it makes a great Nico rig too. You can Nico rig it. And speaking of Nico rig, it's kind of what we did and what's really been paying off the most for us. So we Nico rigged this, but we did it a little bit different. So I don't know if you can see right there, but there's actually a bullet weight going through the fat center, and we've just put our hook just above it. And so what that does is that allows this bait to fall just like this, and when we pop it, it'll pop up and kind of wacky style come up in the water column. So we can fish this for open water bass, we can fish this for suspended bass that's on points or humps, or even fish that are on the bottom. Very targeted what we can do with this style rig. All right, geeks, I want to tell you about BoatEFX. Listen, you guys hear me preach about the steps all the time, but I'm going to tell you today about their graph mounts, especially their console graph mounts. These things have more adjustments than you can imagine. You go to fish the BFLs, you got to have your graphs at a certain height, no problem. These adjust up and down. They tilt back and forth. They adjust side to side. You can get a ton of different configurations as far as your console and your bow up front. That's what makes these mounts so great. The time and effort they put into them, and they're made 100% in the USA. Like it couldn't get any better than all the adjustments. They all come with graph locks built into them. So your graphs will be safe. Oh, wait, it gets better, because not only that, but I love my Garmin's, and I've got the EchoMap 12s, the 126 SVs. If you have those, you know that they come with a cradle. Well, guess what? They've got the best G-Locked graph mount for that you can buy. We've got a video on that. You need to go check it out, by the way. But check this out, and we've got a great discount code right here. Guys, go check BoatEFX out. They make some of the best stuff on the market. So for me, I need a rod that's a little heavier, a spinning rod. We're throwing this on a spinning combo, and I want a rod that's a little bit heavier, especially fishing it this way. Kind of like a, I don't know, a wacky Nico? I don't know what you call this rig. But because when you pop it, there's so much surface area on this bait, it's really gonna feel, it's gonna feel heavier than it actually is. So a medium heavy fast action is really what I want, because I'm gonna be able to pop that bait. It's not gonna just overly flex and cause me to miss a hook set on a bass. So what I'm using is the Cashin. This is the Core series, 7-foot medium heavy fast action. Love the Core series. It is what it says it is. It's a Core group of rods, and they're made in the USA, and they're at a very good price. Now I've got that teamed up with the Lew's Custom Pro because I also want some good drag. Again, this bait is going to have a lot of resistance to it, so when that bass bites and you set that hook, it's going to have a lot of resistance while you're fighting the fish, especially if it's outside its mouth. So you need some good drag because we're using light line with this. This is K9 fluorocarbon, Pro 100, 100% fluorocarbon. This is 8-pound test. So when it comes to the NetBait Virus, there's no wrong way to fish it. I think that's one of the things that I love about a lot of these new baits is that you can fish them in so many different ways, and you can rig them in so many different ways. You can rig this thing sideways, you can rig it flat, you can rig it weightless, on a Nico, on a drop shot. I mean, use your imagination. The rig that we used today was one that I wanted a specific action out of, and it worked. And the thing about this rig is it's super easy to fish. So you can fish it doing 2 or 3 different things, rigged up just like this. You can fish for these open water bass if you've got a live scope. You just throw it out there and pop it at them. You can fish it around docks and marinas, throwing it out there and just working it past those posts or those floats. And it's really that simple. When it comes to retrieve, I'm going to throw it out there, let it sink down to where I think it needs to be, whether that be on the bottom or whether that be above any sort of suspended bass. And I'm just going to pop it. And I'm going to let it sink. And I'm going to pop it. And I'm going to let it sink. It's really that simple. This rig is that simple. They don't see things like this, and when they do, they can't help because they don't have hands, so they can't reach out and touch it. So they put their mouth on it. And when they put their mouth on it, that's when you set the hook. Now, as far as setting the hook goes, again, it's just spinning rod, just straight up. Then reel that rod tip down to keep them from jumping, throwing your bait, number one, and throwing the hook, number two. Because again, it's got a lot of resistance to it. Then, to get them in the boat, single hook bait, depending on how you rig it. You might, like I said. But as long as it's a single hook bait, just go ahead, reach down there, net, thumb. It's a small one. I don't recommend boat hopping on a spinning setup. But if it's a small one, that fish wasn't that great. So, hey, we put him in. He's probably a little over 2 pounds. Just reached out, grabbed the line, lifted him up. That's simple, geeks. It's really overall, the biggest thing that I can tell you about these baits, whether it be the Virus or any of the hairy balls that are out there, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. Hey geeks, listen, we showed you this bait along with the Dirty 30 and a couple other baits. Now you can go dig that short up if you want to before anybody else in the social interwebs ever showed you this. We were the first. We showed it to you. They had them down at the Classic in Knoxville this year, and they let us go ahead and post it out there. So big shout out to NetBait. We appreciate you guys. Now, one of the things that you need to do is go check out this video right here on the Dirty 30 worm, and let me tell you, that worm is dirty. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comments section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad. Hey, just watch every video and all of it. We appreciate that, and we need you. YouTube's being mean to pretty much every long-form creator, and you geeks rock.